Hello and welcome back to Kaiserreich. We've arrived in Afghanistan.
Pareil.
Indeed. I guess I'll assign you a band, whatever.
Aux ordres.
So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna try to push on Lahore, and then push on Delhi. We need to go a little faster than that. Speed 3 will probably do it. The supply is gonna be... Okay. We're not at war with Bohemia. But we can launch a raid if we want.
Écoutez.
Equity. You said it. Oh boy, the left KMT is around. That's actually a much more relevant fight than the one here. But I don't think I need tanks to win it.
Écoutez. Attention.
We'll send these 5 guys. Burgers and fries over there. We just, if things go badly, alright, chips start to fall. Normally this whole area breaks off, but it hasn't done that yet. Don't know why it hasn't. There it is. There we go. There we go. I mean, low-key, I don't necessarily want the Mingan insurgency to win, but like,
Attention.
it is what it is. You know? I have plans. Capital P plans. Blanky Research Institute, we got it! Look at us go. Let's get some radio. We're going down the Sorelians Rule Supreme tree. We probably want Destiny to be set in motion. Anyways. Look at all these buffs.
Attention.
Bro. The yellow syndicalists. The color of syndicalism is traditionally red. Coming from the red flag of the labor movement, a particular group of syndicalists seem to prefer yellow. With their organs in the strikes at the Schneider factories in Le Carçal in 1899, the syndicalist Jeans first distinguished themselves from the Reds by their support for discussions with the employers' class aimed at improving working conditions while rejecting strikes as a means of action. Their yellow name came from a plan from a meeting these unionists were holding in the Montcaux-les-Mines Cafe to plan their action plan. When red unionists came to throw stones through the windows of the yellows, who then covered up the holes in the windows with yellow paper. Similar unions were organized in many other mining and labor federations, centers in the United States, in France, and even federated into the Union Federative Syndicates et Groupements Ouvriers Professionnels de France et de Colonies, usually called the National Federation of the Yellows of France in English. Originally created by left boulangist Paul Lanier, known as the father of syndicalism, Jean, before Pierre Bertrand took control and relegated Lanoir to a minor position, the movement gradually radicalized, adopting strong French nationalism, major anti-Semitism, and violent forms of action, rivaling even those of the Camelots de Roy of Action Francais, even dreaming of nailing Jouars Carrion alive against the door. Unlike the traditional syndicalist and Marxist, they also supports a form of class collaboration but still dominated by the proletariat. When the revolution broke out, the ambitious Bertrand prepared to remain neutral at first before joining the revolution, believing it the only way to save France from German aggression. The quickest ways for his unions to gain strength and influence since the National Federation of Yellows of France during the democratic communard system, though as a minor union. The Federation can still find support in the more revanchist nationalist layers of communist society, maintain links with the Sorelians. Initially, it was led by an iron fist by Pierre Betray, who intended to apply his nationalist principles, but is not opposed to communist democracy as it exists now. However, within the Federation exists the Committee Central Socialist Revolutionary Central Committee, led by Lanoir, affirming the left-wing Boulongist ideology inspired mostly by Gabriel Terrell and Alfred Naquet. This committee disavows communist democracy and replace it with a centralized system unified around a charismatic central figure, as General Bonnier was in the past, all with the aims of guaranteeing the preservation of the nation's social rights for all. The Yellows currently only have a few seats in the BGT and therefore have minor influence, but who knows what the future holds for this most useful movement. Let's keep an eye on these quote-unquote syndicalists. Look at that. We could develop the Union of Britain. I think I want to recruit a head of intelligence. Probably, at some point.
Aux ordres.
Alright, we're in the Mingan insurgency.
Attention.
Hey, look, a lady. That's nice. We want to push on Nanshang.
Bougez-vous.
Go, go, kill, attack. Killing and attacking all the way to Lahore.
Aux ordres.
Yeah, we can just bypass this, because I don't want to fight in the mountains with tanks. That seems kind of stupid.
Gardez vos rangs. Aux ordres. Bougez-vous.
Death of Pius the 11th? RIP. R.I.P. Bozo.
Aux ordres.
You should be able to get to Lahore before the defenders can cover it. Okay.
Écoutez. Pareil.
Honestly, I think I just want to keep pushing. Go here. You
Attention.
can go here.
Attention.
The thing I really want to
Continuez
do
l'attaque.
is achieve a breakout onto the plains.
Bougez-vous.
Maybe I can get to Delhi just by pushing.
Pareil. Attention.
And in terms of where our troops should be, concentrate on the knife's edge. Just keep pushing.
Attention.
Actually, we should go here.
Attention.
We can get to Agra. You know, that'll be a really good situation for us.
Écoutez. Bougez-vous. Gardez vos rangs.
Am I gonna overrun? Nope.
Pareil.
No, I'm not.
Continuez d'avancer.
We want to stop. Go here. Non-aggression pact from the Mongolian Peasants Khanate. Okay.
Attention.
How are we doing here? We haven't even moved.
Continuez d'avancer. Attention.
Okay.
Tirs ennemis.
No, it's fine. You need to go back to Delhi right now.
Écoutez.
Hey! Aurelians rule supreme. Okay. I don't know how we got all that territory. What the heck is happening here? Is that a bug? Okay. Okay, Cerealians cement their power. Immediately after winning the elections, the Cerealians, under the leadership of Chairman Valois, have begun their new national syndicalist plan for France. The past weeks have seen dissenting opposition crushed and prominent non-Cerealians dearly gripping onto power post-election isolated or found dead under suspicious circumstances. Valois has ordered that all references to Niels' chairmanship are to be heavily criticized by the new regime. Whilst the man himself has been put under house arrest and fears he may rally the syndicalist anarchists against Valois, France once again undergone a radical transformation. Cerealians reign supreme. Alright, we got it. Afghanistan has one. One pretty big, too. Okay, what's the one we want first? I'll take the buildings first, I guess. Alright.
Attention.
We're gonna swap out for tanks here. But yeah, I want Afghanistan to be beefy because I want them. There we go. Afghanistan triumphed against the Entente. Ha ha ha! The unthinkable has happened. The Indian continent as the Kingdom of Afghanistan is one against the last remnants of British India, emulating the conquerors of old by taking over Delhi. The invaders have thrown the entire Commonwealth in disarray. British forces and their Indian auxiliaries have overwhelmed and routed, fleeing to the ports of Karachi and Ahmedabad to escape the collapsing nation. Massive concessions have been granted to jubilant Afghans, seeking enough land to nearly double size of the emirate. The Entente has declared the Afghan victory as a fluke and not representative of its weakness, while the princely states of the Commune look upon the lands with an opportunistic eye. Afghan newspapers have declared this to be the beginning of the end for the infidel rule in India, and the Emir appears to have consolidated his power. Meanwhile, other major powers in the world have not released any statements regarding this development, as they didn't expect an Afghani victory. While the Entente is shaken, those in Paris and Berlin look in glee as the rivals in the former British Empire think further into despair. Military officials, analysts, and journalists believe they cannot win against a backwater nation. What hope do they have for return home? Surprising would be an appropriate word for this. Take that, you nerds. Panic on the streets of Delhi. Panic on the streets of Lahore, which isn't even under control anymore. Ha ha ha. Princes in the northwest provinces are scrambling in defense against the Afghans. Ah. Alright. Take that, you nerds. I should probably push for Nanchang, I think. I don't really think I need the tanks here, but it seems good. Julius, whatever, is elected new pope. That's Julius the IV. Okay. He's the right-wing one. New pope just dropped. IRL as well. That happened relatively recently.
Attention. On se magne.
Yeah. Oh no! She got sick. Sick of the nonsense. Got him. Oh man. Choosing a host city for the Spartacade. As usual, when you started thinking about the 1937 Spartacade, where she'll be hosted, how many contests we'll have, how many delegations will come, most important questions, however, is where we should host the Spartacade, a French city or a British city. Let's do a French city. Dijon. We're going to do Dijon to show the French we are superior. Burgundy. Yeah. Dijon to show the French we are superior. That seems to fit with the vibe, as I understand it. Okay, Nanjing click collapsed. No surprises here.
Bougez-vous. Arrêt.
Alright, we want to make sure the On King don't succeed in their mission.
Écoutez. Bougez-vous.
We have have to make sure that we win. And they lose. That's how war works. Alright, volunteers have returned home. So we're going to recall our volunteers. I guess? Should we? Should we recall our volunteers? I don't really know if we need to.
Pareil.
I think we can just do this with infantry, right? Like, Lucarto proclaims Maximato, the revolution advances, as it is. Rejuvenated Revolutionary Syndicate, the Commune de France succeeded in overthrowing the decaying French Third Republic, and for that we acknowledge the merits of the syndicalist regime. However, in recent times, the status quo of syndicalism has led to weakness. With Valois now in control, the revolution can be continued. The Commune will be reborn as the French Rejuvenated Revolutionary Syndicate, a nation that values strength and labor, a nation that reclaimed the glories that we lost after the Weltkrieg. One of the first changes we will make is the new flag. We shall raise the Cerealian-inspired Commune flag to make the banner of the revolution the Cerealian Commune flag. Whatever. Sure.
Pareil. On se magne.
Time for some proper crumping, as they
Écoutez.
say. Log. Alright, we can recruit a head of intelligence. Or improve worker conditions. I'm going to recruit a head of intelligence. It's a permanent upgrade. Everything else is a little bit silly now, but that's going to stick around.
Pareil.
What the... What the heck?
Écoutez.
Pute, you said it.
Attention.
Go, go, go. Actually,
Aye.
you should go, go, go here.
Aux ordres.
Zelda. Polish People's Republic wants to sign a pact of non-aggression. What the heck is the Polish People's Republic doing? What are you? Okay, that's significant. Sitting there with the no comment. Poland falls to syndicalism, a spine in the middle of the Reichspakt. We may have to send volunteers there. That is a change that I am happy that they made for, like,
Pas
You
de
know.
pitié.
Kornilov storms Moscow. Will Russia ever rest? I like how this guy is alive in this timeline for some reason. I mean, I guess technically he died later. Oh, Lov Kornilov. You certainly are a person. Heart of a lion and the brain of a sheep. Oswald Mosley elected chairman of the TUC. After the dust settles, Oswald Mosley, later the maximalist and totalist dialogue, has appointed chairman. Mosley's faction supports strong central government, full state control of the economy, and much more in favor of military action, British nationalism than any other faction. Interesting. What an interesting situation we found ourselves in.
Gardez vos rangs.
La Troisme Internationale. We've been preparing for the third international since 1927. Now we are nearly ready to put on the 9th Congress right here on Montmartre Hill in Paris, built on the ruins of Sacré-Cœur. For 3 days, the city will host delegates from almost every socialist, syndicalist, and Bolshevik party. Across the world, we, the French, will take the floor first. That is if we were still planning on hosting the 9th Congress, continuing the work of the Second International. I don't know why there's an option to say no, let's not do that. It doesn't make any sense to not do that. Don't give an option if the choice isn't real. Just don't make it a choice. Anyways.
Pareil.
We're gonna take Anqing.
Aux ordres.
Not good for the Anqing clique to lose Anqing.
Repli.
It is pronounced Anqing. I'm like 90% sure that that's the case. Complete industrialization. Oh boy. Probably want this one. Commune of Corpora. Reformist king in Afghanistan. Reform in Afghanistan, of all places? It's the Barkazi Empire. They certainly are something. Yeah, this is going to be removed, like, in August. Anyways. Labor Day! In 1889, delegates of the Second International voted for the designation of the 1st of May as a day of mobilization to be repeated yearly. A proposal by the father of French Marxism, Jules Guissard. The date was chosen to commemorate the martyrs of the Haymarket Massacre, killed for having dared to demand an 8-hour workday. Years after years, intense mobilization on this day led to more street confrontations, often more victims. On this International Workers' Day, soon known colloquially as Labor Day, proletarians refused to work, marching for their rights, waving the red flag, singing their Internationale, wearing the red eglantine or the lily of the valley wrapped in scarlet cloth on their jackets in memory of the bloodshed. The commemorative oppositional holiday, this day of freedom, snatched from the jaws of capital, rightfully shook the bourgeois. With the revolution, the 1st of May was declared a national holiday, and it quickly became a day of great official celebrations and commemoration, marches, popular events, and dances. At home, a celebration of the revolution and the liberated workers. Abroad, still a day of struggle, until one day the winds of revolutionary freedom shall blow on all corners of the earth. Our people rejoice and remember the long road traveled. Once a mere dream, held on dearly in the factories, the revolution lives, thrives, its heart beating proudly in France. An inspiration for all of our comrades still shackled. Triumph in the struggle awaits us. Taking this little... There we go. Super cool. Kuomintang lasts for aid since the National Revolutionary Army has collapsed at the hands of the imperialist-backed Zili clique. We have certainly looked at the possibility of revolution in China with interest. China, while indeed not a capitalistic nation nor an industrial one, holds the potential for an anti-imperialist and socialist revolution, as evident by the role of the Chinese mass movement in the Northern Expedition. While Chinese socialists and the Kuomintang attempted to stage a bold but failed uprising in 1932, it would appear that following the collapse of the capitalistic world order after Black Monday, the Chinese Kuomintang and the NRA have risen once more to break their chains. We have received an urgent communique from our Chinese connections, says Chairman Wang Jingwei and Ambassador Eugene Chen for our nation, to send over military arms and advisors to help the Kuomintang in the renewed revolutionary struggle. We certainly support them, though given the distance of the conflict and our limited resources, we can either send them purely advisors or advisors and rifles. Alternatively, some of our governors argued that instead we should only send them our thoughts and our prayers. I mean, yeah, take advisors and guns. That's worth spending on. Alright. Do we have any wars right now? No. Alright. Our position, our revolutionary success continues. The Afghans have thrown off the yoke of the British India. The KMT continues to march toward success against the Shandong clique. Events are developing in Poland. Ideally, they won't be crushed. But, you know, what can you do? Let's see. I hope they choose Poland as part of the revolution once, you know, so they can join the Internationale. That would be nice. But either way, we will see when that happens. This is a much less stable game than regular Kaiserreich, so we might see war, I don't know, at any point. We'll see. Alright. See you later. Bye-bye.